I have known my ex, Alice, for approximately 15 years. During this period, we've tried dating 3 times, and gone through 5 breakups in total, when we were 12, 13, 17, 18, and back in 2018. The first time we dated, I was 100% responsible for the end of our relationship. We were still 12, 13, the relationship lasted 2 months, and I honestly just got so overwhelmed with how affectionate she was at the time and how she needed my attention throughout the day. So I sent her a text message to break up with her. I was a foolish young boy who was willing to hurt someone I liked for selfish reasons. The second time we dated, I was also 100% responsible for the end of our relationship. I can personally speak for my own flaws. I was struggling with my independence at home, while at the same time struggling financially. At 17, 18 I didn't have much money, and instead of communicating this to Alice, I would ignore her or stand her up. One day, we'd gone out to a club and I made out with a girl while Alice was there. Alice's best friend caught me, told Alice, and they left immediately. A few days later, I met Alice and she was still willing to work through this, but, again I broke up with her. My reasoning at the moment was that she honestly deserved a better, more independent, financially stable and non-douchebag boyfriend. By this point I had pretty much broken the heart of the love of my life not once, but twice, and had proven once again that I was a horrible, foolish young boy who was willing to hurt someone I loved for selfish reasons. I later came to learn that Alice had earlier in the relationship made out with a close friend of mine and that she and my close friend had never intended on telling me. It was this close friend who told me this when he watched how hard the breakup was on me. After the second breakup, I wasn't able to commit myself to another relationship. I spent years trying to work on myself, trying to be the kind of man I could be proud of. Days were spent battling moral conflicts, religious and cultural ideologies, and most importantly my personal values, which I could be proud of moving forward. After about 5 years, I was ready for something close to commitment and found myself in multiple situationships, but I never truly committed fully to being someone's boyfriend ever again. This was until 2018 when I hit things off with Alice one more time. After almost 7 years of little to no contact, all the emotions I felt for her came rushing back. At this point, I was very content and satisfied with the kind of man I had become, and I had my values deeply entrenched in me. I was ready to try things one last time with her, and this time I was going to treat her right. However, things didn't quite work out as I had expected. Alice took me through one hell of a ride, and by late 2019, I was ready to break up with her. This time not because I was a foolish young man who was willing to hurt someone I loved for selfish reasons, but because I was a self-aware young man who knew he deserved to be treated better by the woman who claimed to love him. I won't get into the details of what Alice did to me, for I don't want that to distract from the main point. All I can say is she broke my heart throughout the relationship multiple times, that I got so sad I had to leave for the sake of my internal peace and mental health security. The process of my departure from the relationship was however difficult, with a lot of second guessing and denial that she really treated me like she did, which led to 3 breakups in a span of 2 months, all initiated by me, again. So this year, about 6 months after the breakup, Alice and I started talking again. I asked her if there was someone else in her life and she assured me there was absolutely no one. We continued talking and eventually got to the point where we started meeting in person. We were slowly getting closer and closer to each other emotionally, and our conversations were getting even more frequent and even more intimate. This was until a few weeks ago when I started noticing inconsistencies in her actions and her words, which led me to suspect that she was at least talking to someone else. This led to me confronting her about whether she was considering ourselves exclusive at this point, which she responded with an affirmation. I raised my concerns that I suspected there was someone else, and after a lot of back and forth, she admitted there were 2 guys she was probably talking to. I'll call them John and James. She admitted that with James, things were a bit more serious, but insisted it was me she wanted and that she would cut them off. I told her that I wasn't going to start a relationship with her again with things being the way they were, i.e., talking to 2 other guys. Fast forward to last weekend, when we met physically and things started getting intimate between us. Halfway through, we were just cuddling and talking, and I brought up the fact that I'd like for her to reassure me that she's cut these 2 guys off by showing me her phone. This is where things went downhill, and fast. Basically, I discovered there was a new guy who was neither John nor James, whom she had been seeing since early February this year. I'll call him Mark. Mark and Alice were in a serious relationship, and things had moved so fast between them that they'd talked about getting engaged, officially meeting each other's family, and even talked about getting married soon. Mark isn't in the country at the moment, and hasn't been around for a while, maybe about 5 months. I learned from Alice that they had talked about getting married as soon as Mark came back into the country. I didn't discover everything I've stated here with ease. Alice lied through her teeth the entire time I was questioning her about Mark. She lied about every single detail, tried to manipulate the truth by even claiming they weren't in a relationship but were faking it for some reason I don't want to mention here. Slowly by slowly, word by word, her inconsistencies within the narrative caught up with her, and she revealed the truth bit by bit, which helped me piece together the bigger picture. She says she lied because I was mad. However, I asked her to come clean about the situation way before I got mad. TBH, I didn't even suspect that there was a Mark, so I didn't even have something to be mad about. Eventually, she admitted that she never even intended to tell me about Mark, and that she was going to slowly let him go had we gotten back together. How I feel like the past 3 months or so have been full of deceit since she had a boyfriend the entire time and lied to me about him. I specifically asked if there was someone else in her life so I can know whether to disappear into thin air and let her move on. And she insisted that there was no one at all. I don't know if I can trust a word she says, especially after the way she lied to me when I discovered Mark. On the other hand, I still want to try and work on things with her. But I need her to be honest and transparent, which is something she struggles with. She also struggles with selfishness, which includes her twisting everything to be about her. How Alice feels. Alice says she feels as though I make her feel unwanted. She says that from the many times I've broken up with her, she can't help but worry I would leave her again in a whim. She insists that the reason things get so messy from her end is because of the insecurity and doubt I raise in her. She insists that I don't reassure her enough to feel safe and secure with me. This is also why she lies to me. She doesn't want to lose me, so she'd rather fabricate the truth and keep me rather than tell me the truth and stand to lose me. Where do we need help? So Alice swears that it's me she wants, but she's struggling to let Mark go. From what I understand, they are also in love. So even as I write this, 3 days later, they're still in communication, but she claims affection with him has reduced and that she's slowly trying to break up with him. I don't truly believe her, and I think she's currently maintaining 2 parallel relationships while she battles with the decision of who to choose between the 2 of us. She's unwilling to be transparent with me about her conversations with Mark and only wants me to trust her word. I don't. I would rather something more concrete, e.g., access to the conversations with Mark or just anything else that could give me some reassurance that she's working on it. I need something else that backs her words up. People of Reddit, help me fix this. I really want to be with her, but I don't know how to fix this mess we're in. Note, we live about 33 miles from each other, which is about a half-hour drive one way. This means we don't see each other often and have to plan around a lot of obstacles just to get some private intimate time between us. Update. I, 26M, caught my ex-GF, 26F, in a serious relationship with someone else while trying to work things out between us. Help. Okay. Things have been hectic this past week, but here we go. So my ex-GF says that she ended things with Mark and they're no longer in contact, though they seem to have limited contact rather than none. She says that she told him everything, including how long we'd been talking, us getting close to each other, and even that things got physically intimate between us. She assures me that things are over between them and that she's hell-bent on being transparent, trustworthy and different moving forward. I, on the other hand, insist that I need evidence that things are over between them, e.g., me talking directly to Mark, screenshots of conversations between her and Mark about ending things, etc. If she could come up with other ideas to prove they are over, I am open to it. But I need more than just her word. My ex-GF, however, insists that she is not willing to prove things are over between them and that I should just trust her word. She does not want me talking to him. She is not willing to provide any screenshots of conversations between them about ending things, and she is not willing to think of any other way to prove that things are over between them. Moving on, she insists she'll be completely transparent, including allowing me to access her phone at will, and that she won't hide anything. This means that if she were to get in touch with him, then I would easily know, for I could just go through her phone. She says that this is how she would have liked things had she been me. She says that these standards I set to prove things are over between them don't sit comfortably with her, and she wouldn't be able to move on with me if I was to, for example, reach out to Mark. She doesn't want to be with someone who would do such a thing. We're at an impasse where I feel like I can't move forward until she proves things are over between them. Whereas, she wants me to take her word and promise of complete transparency moving forward. If I can't take her word on this issue with Mark, then we can't move forward. Edit. It's Alice here. The only reason why I don't want him going through my phone/contacting Mark is because I don't see an end to it. Not because I'm hiding something or I intend to hide anything in future. I broke his trust and I currently don't have a healthy way in how to fix it/ we have not come up with healthy ways so far. I did suggest that I need time to fix this within myself, being as I feel horrible since I put all of us in this situation. But that didn't sit well with Op. I feel horrible for how things are. I just don't know how to fix it in a way that is healthy for us moving forward. It's difficult building trust that you have broken, and I am open to whichever healthy solutions that could make this work. I have all the evidence for everything he has asked during this time. My only problem is, once I show this to him and open this up, then what next? Is this the ultimate solution? I do agree that I am a horrible person for playing the Bachelorette with unsuspecting contestants, and for this there is no excuse. It was selfish. I, 26M, caught my ex-GF, 26F, in a serious relationship with someone else while trying to work things out between us. Help. You were right, Reddit. Alice and I can't make things work. She's still a liar, a manipulator, deceitful, and most importantly isn't able to let Mark go. Okay, I'm not sure where to start. Damn, here we go. So after sharing this previous post with Alice and allowing her to share her point of view, we talked on the phone and she agreed to come over the next day, i.e., Tuesday. Just a bit of background. I recently moved closer to work, so as of now, we're no longer 33 miles away from each other. We're probably about half of that right now. Okay, now on to Tuesday. So Alice took an Uber quite early and came over before noon. As we were talking the previous night, i.e., Monday night, we talked about what she thought of the comments and she agreed that yes, she was wrong for refusing to be transparent. From the conversation, it seemed as though she was going to come over, We'd talk about stuff and resolve everything. Remember, she had edited the post and said, "I have all the evidence for everything he has asked during this time. Therefore, you can imagine I was finally looking forward to this evidence." Long story short, a lot happened on Tuesday. As we were talking, while in each other's arms, she opened up a bit more about how she's always held my actions at 13 and 17 over me and was glad I had owned up to them and apologized. She said she needed to hear it and told me that she'd forgiven me. We talked a bit more and she slowly revealed that things between her and Mark hadn't really changed like she had alluded earlier. This was the point where my radar went off, but I didn't say anything. I let her continue. Alice said that she'd tried different ways, everything but the truth, to break things off with Mark, e.g., using the "this long distance thing isn't working" argument. But, with everything she brought up, Mark wouldn't budge and would find a way to dismiss her attempts to create a problem out of nothing. She said that over the past weeks this is all she'd been trying to do. This meant that up to then, she hadn't even attempted to tell Mark anything about what had been going on. The only thing Mark seemed to be aware of is that she was talking to me and she was conflicted about us. At this point I asked her whether Mark knew anything about us talking about getting back together, getting emotionally closer, getting physically intimate, and most importantly that she wanted to break up with him. She confirmed that she hadn't brought any of this up with him. So, there you have it, folks of Reddit. She was once again lying about the situation between her and Mark. She wouldn't show me evidence because there was nothing to show. I was angry. I told her that the only way we're moving forward is if she disclosed everything to Mark right then and there. And I listen to her do it. She hesitated but started drafting a message. She even asked me to help her write her breakup text, and foolish me, I agreed to it. Well, once we got done with the message, she completely froze. She couldn't send it. She tried to compromise on my condition but I wouldn't budge. We spent about 2 hours going back and forth. Eventually I was so frustrated, I decided to step out to get something. On coming back, I found her with all her things packed, ready to leave. She'd already even left my house and was waiting for the lift, the same lift I came up in. She was on the phone with a friend this whole time, and when I said, "I see you're ready to leave," she didn't respond. So I took what had gone to get back to the house, and on coming back she was gone. I tried calling and she said she'd left the building and that I should give her a minute to finish her call. Well, I waited and she didn't call back. At this point, I was sure she'd taken an Uber and was well on her way home. I tried calling her about 5 times in a span of 30 minutes but she would hang up. Eventually she called back and said that she needed some time alone, especially that night. So that's it, Reddit. I basically demanded for a resolution and she bailed on me without warning. I can't even put into words what that felt like. It felt like someone had ripped a hole through my chest. I'm still deeply hurt, but it's okay. Tuesday needed to happen for me to be able to move on. Anyway, I finally deleted and blocked Alice on all platforms I use, including here. This was the final straw for me. Even though harsh, most of you were right. We can't make things work between us and it saddens me. The aftermath. So on Wednesday morning I woke to a chat request on my actual Reddit account from Alice. She'd created a new account and wanted to talk. She said she had some screenshots she wanted to share. I unblocked her on WhatsApp and she sent screenshots that seemed to be between her and Mark, and she was disclosing to Mark that she had cheated on him. She also accompanied the text screenshots with screenshots of her voice and phone conversations with Mark from the moment she left my place while on the Uber ride home. Basically she said that she needed to talk to him alone. She couldn't talk to him with me around, and now that she'd talked to him, she was sending these screenshots to let me know she had done it. I told her these screenshots weren't conclusive. I said they don't really give the full picture of how much she'd told him, i.e., that we were planning on getting back together and that she wanted to break up with him. She said that she wasn't able to tell him all this. This is when she revealed that she wasn't even planning on doing it. You see, Mark has been cheated on before while in a long-distance relationship and it broke him. Even from the screenshots Alice shared, Mark claimed that what Alice had shared with him, that she cheated on him, had given him PTSD, but from the way it seemed, he was willing to forgive her as long as she doesn't repeat it again. So Alice and I talked, and from our conversation it is clear that she's leaving some room to try and see if things can work out between Mark and her. Maybe not now, but later after she has worked on herself. It is clear that things are much easier with Mark since they neither have the history me and Alice share nor do they have the baggage me and Alice have from our past. It is clear that were she to work on herself, it would be easier to fix things with Mark than it would be with me. And with that, I considered this situation wrapped up. I wished her well with Mark moving forward and I told her that I wished for the best on her self-improvement journey. We're no longer in contact as I have gone back to blocking Alice on all platforms. I'll take this time to heal from this mess and focus on my happiness. I'm heartbroken, but I'll be alright. Thank you all for your sound advice. To Alice, if you're reading this, I hope for happiness and healthiness to you moving forward. Goodbye.